5 o'clock. All right, people. We're going to get into this. We're going to get into this. We're going to be serious about it. Oh, boy. I just made that up. Oh, boy. Okay. I'm going to have to get to business, back to business after this show. I want to show you guys something. I'll at least read it. There we go. All right, man. We're here, 5 o'clock, an hour earlier than usual time. You know what? I don't want to cause no more confusion because one day we say 6, then we jump at 5, then it's 2, so we're going to stick with 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock is going to be the primary time, Monday through Saturdays, no matter what my schedule says. Because I was thinking that I could get some people in here earlier in the day so that I could have the rest of the day to myself. But I think consistency is key, especially in marriages. Marriages and relationships, consistency is very key. So we're going to keep it there at 6 o'clock. And Saturdays, we're going to keep it at 2 o'clock. All right. So, it's hot. I gotta open the window. All right, so I'm up here going through some work today, and I get a message from supposedly from Facebook. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but the message comes with a Facebook logo. Greeting, Stephen Delo Lyles. First of all, that is not my actual middle name, so it's a nickname. So right then and there, I already knew they had it wrong. And we have received numerous reports against your activity and the content you have published violates our rules. Reports sent proof that your advertisements, posts, or the overall fan page activity violated Facebook policies regarding third-party intellectual property rights and based on our policies, robotic growth of followers. They didn't even really type it well. But I'm going to go down a little further where it says, what's the part that I like? Okay. It goes down, it says, let me start from the beginning right here. Okay, Facebook policies regarding third-party intellectual property, blah, 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 based on robotic growth, sensitive content, human rights violations, animal rights violators, or even the smallest. First of all, no corporate company, especially like Facebook, even talks like this, or even the smallest copyright infringements should be prohibited and permanently punished. So, this letter from Facebook, or so-called letter from Facebook says, I'm going to be permanently punished. And if I want to appeal their decision, I have to respond within 48 hours. And the link that they sent, it's not even a link because it didn't come out as a link. They tried to copy and paste, but they didn't do it quite correctly. I could have did a better job than this. And the link is to a hero, KUAPP.com, to go fill out a form and more than likely make a payment to resolve my issue. So then I go back into it because I wanted to screenshot it, but now I go back into it and it says there's a alert on top of it now. This message seems dangerous. Similar messages were used to steal people's personal information and avoid clicking links, downloads, attachments, or replying with personal information. So, my Nigerian brothers, stop this shit, man. You know I know it's you, right? I know it's you fucking with me on this Facebook, right? I know it's y'all. So, leave a nigga alone, all right? Let a nigga live. All right. I don't think I can use that word on YouTube. So, hopefully I don't get demonetized right when I just got monetized. Hey, you guys remember the WWF before it became the WWE? I'm gonna teach you something. You remember how, like, back in the day when it was like its glory days, you had Stone Cold Steve, because Stone Cold says so. And he give you the 316. Then you had Triple H. I am the game. And then you had my man, The Rock. It doesn't matter what you think. Turn that son bitch sideways and stick it straight up your candy ass. One thing I loved about those days, it shows something that a lot of people probably didn't even pick up. You had 3 champions, but they all can beat each other in a unequivalent way, I should say. Meaning that if I have the order correctly, The Rock would always beat Stone Cold. Stone Cold would always beat Triple H. But Triple H will always beat The Rock. You see how that goes? So it's like, it's not that one was particularly better than the other, but it was about matchups. It was literally about matchups. And that's what relationships are about, matchups. A lot of times we don't get what we want because it's not good for us. If God even for 10% of the time gave us what we truly desire within our hearts, it'll probably destroy us. A lot of the things we think we want is not good for us, but we don't see that far down the line. And you sometimes say to God, how can that not be good for me? It's impossible. I want it badly. And I look at some of my situations, relationships, and I look back now and I'm like, man, I thank God that he did not allow that relationship to work out, because I would have been a miserable man ready to put the gun to my head by now. So I would say that it's not about getting what you think you want. It's about getting what you need. And everybody needs something. That's why I keep saying, man, life is about people and relationships and how we deal with each other. We got to understand that we're not here for ourselves, solely ourselves. If your purpose on this life ain't to benefit others throughout your years, then your life is really for nothing at all. And we really got to start to see life the correct way. Keep getting cut. I can't wait. I'm supposed to get these damn braces off next month. Let's pray that it actually happens. So I'm sick of it. My teeth is perfectly straight. So, get my little implant or whatever. But, yeah, man. Definitely got to learn how to look out for other people's, and especially our children in our homes, and, put other things, put others before ourselves in a lot of situations. It'll give you a feeling of self-worth. Self-worth doesn't come through doing for yourself. It comes from doing for others. So with that said, we're one day shy of the last episode of tonight, but this is what I like to do. Since the goal is to get this success going on YouTube, tomorrow we're going to live stream directly from Instagram, but it's going to be linked to YouTube Live also, because that's where a lot of people are at. So the majority of my followers are all on YouTube, so we're going to move over there, but remain here on IG Live too at the same time. So it took a while for me to figure out how to do that, but it's on its way. So with that said, tonight's show is cheating a deal breaker. Episode 5, with one remaining episode before we go to a new theme on Sunday. So guys, as I always do, take a 30-second break. And if you get on the show, you can send your request in right now. Oh, what the heck happened? All right. All right, so while we wait and see what's what, let's keep this going. What the heck? All right. So I was trying to look up, I'm always about statistics. Trying to pull one up here, one up there. I actually had a message on YouTube, a couple messages on YouTube. People were kind of angry. They it's like, there's no excuse for cheating. What are you talking about? I was like, man, just keep watching the show. All right. And like I said, man, it's not that we're trying to say that this is the way it's going to be or nothing like that. If you look at everything has a source to it. And the source to this discussion is to put people in a situation where if everything goes haywire, they can still have confidence to remain in their marriages in order that, they benefit down the line as well as their children. Because no matter how we look at it, divorce is always going to cause imbalance in us and in our families. That has always been and will continue to remain. So I don't know what else to tell you, but this is the source of this subject. It's not to give men an opportunity to go and say, hey, look, Stephen says so. Stephen said it was good enough that we're supposed to. It's not what I'm saying. That's not the source of this. It's to keep people inside of their marriages and go through the tough times. Because a lot of times, ladies, especially here, have a situation where there'll be infidelity, like even if it's a one-time thing. Some people could be together for like 5-10 years. Man, slip up, whatever, one-time thing, and the lady wants the divorce. Not thinking of the children, but thinking of her own selfish emotions. And ultimately, that is the purpose. That is the deep-seated purpose for this conversation, so that we could be confident to remain in our relationships when we get married. Marriage is supposed to be a lifetime commitment. And lifetime commitments are going to have its ups and downs. It's going to have its troubles, its tribulations. That's part of life. That's what helps us to grow. That's what helps build our character. There's been no person who ever walked this earth who had a great day every day. We have horrible days. We have shitty days. We have good days. We have great days. It's going to be the same when you're in a marriage. You're going to have good and bad. You have to learn how to get through it, to work it out, to compromise, to stay patient. Because impatient, that's why they say patience is a virtue. And the Bible says that a virtue virtue of a woman is a blessing. So patience and virtue with a woman goes hand in hand. And I'm not just saying it's all on a woman, but that's a perspective that we're talking about tonight at this particular time. So with that said, what do you guys think? You can send a message, whatever. Tell me if you agree, disagree. If you disagree, let me know why. But either way, we'll figure that out later. All right. Don't mind me. Give me 1 second. Oh, boy. All right, I'm pulling some stuff up that I'm going to shoot to y'all right now. All right, this is what I'm going to do. So I pulled up some stats right quick. Now, these stats are compiled from the end of 2019. So 2-3 years ago, it's not going to be much difference in the fluctuation of the numbers. So, in Black America, in Black American families, as of 2019, the divorce rate was at about 42%. %42 of marriages in Black America ended in divorce. That's just shy of, I won't say just shy, but that's pretty close to half. So that means you barely have better than a 50-50 chance of staying married. And this is just for first marriages. And if we move over to the continent of Africa, this actually stunned me that I wasn't aware of this. I knew that because of a lot of Western influence being, seeping its way in there each and every year that goes by. I'm reading here that the highest rate of divorce in all of Africa on the continent is Ghana and the DR, which is the Dominican Republic, the DR we call it. So Ghana has the highest rate of divorce, leading all of Africa with 33.2%, which is extremely high for an African country. And then you have the DR with that at 28.8%. And one of the least frequent countries with divorce are Nigeria and Senegal. Nigeria having one of the lowest divorce rates of all countries in the world at 11.8%. And Senegal at a rate of 19.7%. So Nigeria is leading the world as far as the least amount of divorces. Something if you didn't know. America is leading the country with the highest rate of divorce. So you see where this show come into play? You see where it's a necessity for these things to happen, for these type of platforms to take place? Let me see. I don't know what you're doing. So,
Hello,
hello, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Good evening.
Good evening. Name?
Yeah, don't know.
Are you in a noisy area?
You say what?
Noise. We getting a lot of noise.
Oh, it's a generator. So sorry
Oh,
about that.
oh my goodness. We'll see. It's kind of, yeah, it's pretty annoying. But I
Sorry
don't
about
think,
that.
yeah. So we'll see if we can get through it. Um, where are you calling from?
Nigeria.
From,
Yeah, Nigeria.
from
I said Nigeria, River State in
River
Nigeria.
State. When we say from,
Yeah.
if I say I'm from Pennsylvania and they say from, I say Philadelphia,
Okay.
city and state. So that's how we do.
Okay.
All right. Name?
Don Barry.
Don Barry. What is the meaning of that name? Never heard it before. Oh, you and your little pretty smile.
God's gift. Thank you.
It means what? God gives.
Yeah, God's gift.
Oh, God's kids.
Like gift. Yeah,
Oh,
God's
gifts.
gift.
Got you. God's
Yeah,
gift. Yeah, first time I ever heard that name. So who named you?
my dad.
Of course. Like that, though. Do you have any siblings?
Yeah, I do.
Um, brothers, sisters?
Yeah, I have two brothers and I have two sisters and a brother.
Two sisters and one brother.
Yeah,
And where do you fall in between?
I'm the second child.
Okay, so you have two little sisters.
No, a little sister and a little brother. I have an elder sister.
Oh, okay. Your sister was born first. All
Yeah.
right, I got it. Um, so you got a little sister. That means everything that you do, she's going to pretty much follow you because you're the closest in age.
Yeah,
So you're going to have to lead her in the right direction, in the right way.
exactly.
All right. Well, today what I say is we got to learn, especially when it comes to parents. But sometimes if you have siblings, it falls on the older siblings to help lead the children in a better way. Because sometimes the child will follow the lead of the closest sibling more than they will the parents. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So I just want to say that it's really important that we take that type of stuff serious. All right. What you got for tonight's theme?
So what?
What do you have for tonight's theme?
Okay, the team is cheating a deal breaker, right?
Yes.
So, well, what I have to say is, I think cheating is a deal breaker
If we can't hear you,
in relationships. I said, for me, I think cheating is a deal breaker in relationships and in marriages.
I'm listening.
Okay, you're listening, right? You
Yeah,
hearing me?
I'm listening.
Okay, okay? Why I said so is because once a partner, like somebody in a marriage cheats, like one of the partner, if let me say the husband cheats, I feel the trust in that marriage is broken. And trust is a very vital thing in any relationship or in marriage, right? So once that trust is broken, I don't think it can be amended. Even if it is, even if the couple in question chooses to continue with the marriage, right? I don't think it's going to remain the same. And that thing, for me, I'm a believer, right? And I so much believe in the Bible. And the Bible is against infidelity, it's against adultery. You get it?
What is
That's what I
adultery?
feel.
According to the Bible and the Bible only, according to just the Bible, what the Bible teaches, what is
Hmm.
adultery?
You said?
What is considered adultery according to the Bible? Not what we say, but just what the Bible
Adultery.
says.
Okay. Adultery is when a man or a woman that is married, right, goes out and have an extramarital affair.
So
Like
so
having sex
Abraham was
outside
an adulteress.
having sex outside marriage. You said?
So all the men of the Bible was all adulterers.
No. Let me break it down right now. You see. So in the beginning, what I feel, right, this is my own understanding. This is how I see it. So what I feel is when God created Adam, he gave him one wife, which is Eve. Don't you think if God was in support of polygamy, he would have given Adam two wives? Come to think
No,
of it in
because
that way.
we don't know. We don't. Adam was the first creation. Adam was given Eve. We don't
But
know
that's
any. One thing, we don't know anything about Adam and Eve, but the little bit that the Bible tells us about. We don't know beyond that.
mhm.
We do know that when he blessed all his people, especially when he would make them kings, he will bless them with many wives and many concubines. When you go to the New Testament, it still remains the same because they carried that culture. It was part of the culture. You can't deny that. And also, why did the Bible have to stipulate that if you're going, this is in the book of James now, if you're going to be a leader of God's people, you're only afforded one wife. Why did the Bible find it necessary to point out that particular point that if you're going to be a leader, you have to be a man of one wife? Because the culture was that many people have many wives, and many people were divorcing their wives to go get younger ones, but they also have concubines. This is throughout all
So
biblical history.
see, okay, you said you're not basing your this in judgment on Adam and Eve, right? Because we don't know anything concerning the creation. But this is what is recorded in the Bible. You get, well, anything we're saying that we don't know what happened, but we're basing our facts on what is written and what is recorded. You understand? So that's what I feel. And also, if you're talking about Abraham,
No, we're
Abraham
not talking about
married
Abraham.
Sarah, and it
I just
was
I took it to the New Testament. I'm already in the New Testament. I just took it to.
okay. Okay, talking about the New Testament now, you said a criteria of being a leader is you should have one wife, right? So doesn't it make sense like having two wives is, see, for me, right? My grandmother
Oh.
was the fourth wife. Let me break down history now. My grandfather married eight wives. He
Huh?
married eight wives. My
8.
grandfather married eight wives. Yeah,
Wow.
8 wives.
Congratulations to
And
him.
my grandmother was and my grandmother was the fourth. And I
Mm.
tell you the drama. The drama in the family. Even till now, the family is divided. You get, so polygamy comes with a lot of drama, a lot of envy, strife. So it's not better for you as a man to stick with one wife, right, than going through all the drama. See, it's not something that one wants to experience. You get it? The headache and everything. So it's better you just stick with your wife. And if you want to have a perfect family, for me, just stick with one wife. Exactly.
Well,
And
eight
going
wives.
out like as a man, even if you don't want to.
8 wives is a lot to
Can I
start with.
talk?
And I said 8 wives is a whole lot to start with. Was he a wealthy man?
Yeah, the ruler of the community, like a chief.
Okay. Okay. See this.
So he had plenty wives.
Also, And we could stick with the Bible. We could move out of that and to recent society and compare it to today. When even in the days of kingdoms, African kingdoms, Arab kingdoms all over the world, every time a man was either a king or prince or at a high position, he was blessed with to have many women. If you ever notice, every time that someone tries to impress a man of high stature, what do they offer that man? Drink, food, women.
Yeah,
When you're in a
that's
business
true.
meeting and somebody's trying to get you to sign a big deal, what do they put that man around? Drink, food, women. Because when men reach a high status in life, one of their rewards are women. That's what men. We live for women. The only reason why we fight and so ambitious is to be able to have high quality women and as much as we please to have. If we can all just have,
I get your point. I understand what you're saying, right? That's very true. But all things are lawful, but all things are experienced, but not all things are lawful. You understand?
but
People are
it's
doing it.
not
People are,
unlawful. It is not the Bible. There's nowhere in the Bible that you can find it
no,
unlawful.
no, I did not say it's unlawful,
Okay.
right? I said all things are experienced, but all things are not
Oh, I get you. I
lawful.
get you. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right on that. I do agree with that.
So,
We're in full agreement.
so even if other people are happy, okay, see, it's fun having women around you, right? It's fun
Yeah, you know that
having women
men
around
love
you.
women.
But yes, that's the truth, and they love beautiful women. So if now,
All right, go ahead.
but come to think of it, having women around you now, think about your family. Think about the woman you kept at home. Think about your children. You understand? You're exposing that family. Like I would always one thing about me, I will always stand against polygamy because I've seen plenty things happen around me. You understand? I've seen plenty people. Even my cousin, she got married and she became the second wife. How did she get into that family? The man, the husband, okay, she started dating her friend's husband. You're getting the gist, right? She started dating her friend's husband.
Oh
And the
wow,
friend's husband was a medical doctor. The
wow.
man was just going out with her. The man was just going out with her. Nothing really, nothing serious. You understand? But it got to a point when she now became desperate. She now wanted to become the wife. And what did she do? She now had to eliminate the wife. So are you seeing that man now, because he had that lady as a concubine or as a girlfriend, you understand, now exposed his own initial family, because the wife he got married to had 4 children for him, 2 girls, 2 boys. But the woman had to go to the extent of killing the wife so that she can take the position of the wife, you get.
She killed her.
So if that man, yes, she killed her.
So you're saying the concubine actually killed the first wife?
Yes, to become the wife. This is real life story. I'm not looking it up.
I could
You
believe it.
understand?
I could believe it.
So now, there's a saying in Igbo that river doesn't swallow who it doesn't see the leg. You understand? An ocean
Say
will
that
not
one more
swallow you
time.
if you don't go to it. There's a saying in Igbo, like I'm saying it in English now, right? That an ocean will not swallow you if it doesn't see your leg. Like an ocean will not come to your house and swallow you if you don't go to the ocean.
Okay, I got you.
You get? So that man was the cause of everything that happened. He now made his 4 children motherless. Why? Because he was cheating. You get the point now? So
I get it.
if he has sticks to his wife and his children, do you think that thing would have happened? No, he wouldn't have lost his wife.
I fully
So
understand
I
that.
think
I said I fully understand, but
I
that's
think
anecdotal. That's anecdotal evidence. We're talking about the majority. When it's the majority, does it benefit the majority? You're always going to have situations and stories that go awry. That's part of life. We're talking about, does it benefit the majority? But we're not even talking about polygamy. See, the story, I get the story, and you made your point. But we got a week coming one day soon that it's going to be all about polygamy. Is it right or wrong? We're not even talking about
Okay.
polygamy. We're just sticking to the infidelity aspect of it. And here's
But you
why.
know, cheating graduates to polygamy, because before you marry a second wife, you have to date her. You don't just go and pick a girl and say you want to marry. No, it's one of those days that in Africa that a man will just come to your house and tell your mother, "Ah, I saw a beautiful flower in your house and I want to pluck it." No, you have to date her. You have to talk with her. So that's it. So cheating graduates to polygamy, right? So that's
Not
it.
all the time. You're in Africa. I get what you're saying. Here in America, it's totally different. Here in America, cheating doesn't lead to polygamy because people are in and out of biz of each other every night, all night. Have you heard of this thing that they call Netflix? Let's Netflix. What that means is you pretty much a jump off. You call somebody up, meet them, get a number, you go sleep with that person, never see that person again, then you do it and try it with someone else. You understand?
Okay, let's leave the killing and everything out of it now.
Right,
What of your health
right.
as a man?
You see
Your
what I'm saying?
health. Is it healthy?
No.
Is it
Well,
healthy?
we're here to discuss it. We're here to discuss it. But we're going to discuss it this way, the way that I ask questions. I'm going to ask you 3 questions. First of
Okay.
all, before I get into that, I'm going to give you a scenario. In Nigeria alone, Nigerian women almost outnumber their men by 10 to 1. You do know that, right?
You said what? I did not
In
get you.
Nigeria, the women almost outnumber the men 10 to 1.
Yeah, that's true.
So, if every man of marriageable age went out and married every single lady in Nigeria, you would still have 90% of the female population unmarried and without provisions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You see how it could work on
Without
both sides?
provision. Sorry. You said unmarried and without provision. So it does it mean that the main purpose of a woman getting married is for provision?
But part of the reason for marriage is to have provisions, for a man to provide and a woman
Provision.
to take care of the home. You don't believe in that? You can tell me.
The main reason for me, I don't see it as okay. The men that we have these days in Nigeria, if they know that that's the main reason you are coming to get married to them, my dear, the truth is that they will run away. You understand? They will run away. They don't want a liability. They don't want a woman. They want. The truth is that as a woman, if you're coming as a wife, you should have something to offer. You understand? So the main reason you are getting married shouldn't be provision.
No, see,
Were you not providing for,
you're
were you not
jumping
providing for
ahead.
yourself before you got you?
You're jumping too far ahead of the conversation. You're jumping too far ahead right now.
No, it's
You're
based on what
jumping
you
too
said now.
far.
You said you talked about provision, right? So I
Yes,
did not really get that point.
I get that point because if you got 90% of women who are walking around single and the other 10% married, the 10% are going to do way better than the 90%. You have a home with 2 incomes of 2 people who are able to do whatever is necessary to build up a family. That's always going to be better than 1. You get me? A home with a husband and wife will always fare better than a single parent home or a single person's home. You don't agree with that?
That's true.
All right. So that's the whole point being made. That if only 10%
Okay.
are married because of monogamy, you leave 90% out the door. You get it?
Yeah, I get.
All right. So let's get into this. Since you want to talk about marriage and all that, do you want to be married one day?
Of course.
Oh, I love
Yes.
your smile, man. You got the brightest smile
Thank
ever.
you. Aw, thank you very much.
Welcome.
Thank you.
So, how old are you?
I'm 21.
Oh, young. You got a mature face, though. How many failed relationships so far?
2.
2. Which one was the longest? Which one lasted the longest?
I think it was the last one.
How long?
Okay. It was the first one. The first one lasted for about a year. Yeah.
So the second one was what? Just for a couple months?
Yeah. 4 months or so.
So not anything expensive. Who broke it off? The
I
two of
did.
them. Both?
I did.
For what reason?
Cheating.
And y'all wonder why we here. Y'all wonder why we here. This is why we're here. This is why we're here. How old were the two men? Or were they boys?
Okay, the first was 25. The second was 28.
All right. So something told you in your head that if I marry this 20-year-old boy, man, whatever you want to say, he's going to be committed to me and never sleep with another woman for the rest of his life. You went in it thinking
No,
like that?
his one was one was chronic. His
Oh,
one was
chronic.
chronic. Yeah.
Both, you talking so the both of them.
No, just the last one that lasted for 4 months.
So what happened to the first one that lasted for a year? Why you break off with him? Let's be honest.
I feel the communication was no. I don't know. Okay, I started dating him when I was, I think, 18 years, and I wasn't really matured. So along the
You grew up,
line, I
you grew up a
discovered
little,
that.
and you realize that he ain't even your type, and he ain't even what you want.
Yeah.
It happens. Happens to everybody. It's called puppy love.
Yeah.
It's not real love. It's called puppy love. So that's a good thing, though. You seem like a cool girl. I'll give you that. So 2 failed relationships. 1 lasted a year. You left the last one after a few months or whatever because of chronic cheating. Okay. We're going to see where you stand at and what your outcome may look like. How tall are you?
5 feet. 5 feet 3 inches.
5'3"?
5. Yeah.
Your weight? Little chubby girl?
82 kg. Yeah,
82
82
kg.
kg. Yeah.
So, hey, a lot of men like them like that. And it's not like you all out there. Your picture's up so they see. So where you have it at, a lot of men love that. So I don't think you're going to have that big of an issue. But you always want to, especially at the age of 21, you want to make sure that you take care of your dieting. Because you're 21 and you're at 82 at 5'3". I would say invest in a little exercise, get a little routine, add a little more discipline to your life. You understand? Because you're only 21. Do you want to have kids?
Yeah, I do.
How many?
2.
2. All right, boy or girl?
A girl and a boy.
You don't control that shit, though. That's God, not you.
I know, but that's what I just want.
All right. But on the real, seriously, you're 21. You have to really pay attention to your weight right now. Especially if you're talking about having kids. I mean, 21, you probably go through the next 10 years to get your 2 kids, and you don't want to be double what you are now. So it's best to do what you need to do, as far as that's concerned now, in order to have it become a problem, a lifelong problem. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the way you could look at yourself is, you could have the shape that you want, or you could look 20 years down the line, and you know the type of woman that I'm talking about when they hit 40 in their 40s and all that, and they kind of wobbly and they're out here, and there's no hope because you can't drop that kind of weight at that age. You get me?
Yeah. Yes.
So you're at your metabolism and everything. You're at the perfect age to drop it easier than ever. And when you discipline yourself like that, you gradually, it becomes a lifestyle to you. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
So do me a favor, really focus on that, all right?
Yeah, thank you.
All right, you're welcome. But all right, what do you do for a living?
I'm a student and also I run a small business.
A small business. What you sell?
Okay, I'm a caterer. I
Girl.
bake.
You a pimp? You a pimp?
Said
I said, are you a pimp?
I said I'm a caterer. I bake and I cook.
I'm just messing with you. That song been in my head for 2 days. A Shawu girl. So don't worry about me.
You said what?
You ain't get the joke. You missed the joke. I was
You
asking,
said
do you go out and sell girls to men?
no. I don't.
All right, all right. Let me stop messing around. All right. Can I call you Do or Dun? What is it? Dunbari?
Just
What?
call me Donu.
Dunu. All right,
Donu.
Dunu.
Yeah.
All right. If you married, does it have to be in Nigeria or could it be a Black American if one came around?
Mm, any of them.
Any of them would do?
Yeah.
All right. Know anything about Black men?
You said?
Do you know anything about Black American men?
Nothing really.
I would say this because I lived in Nigeria for almost 3 years, back and forth through living in Ghana for about 10 years.
Okay.
I learned a lot in Nigeria living there. Nigerian men are pretty close to what we are here, Black America. Not all, but there's a lot of similarities. The biggest thing you would have to understand is just the culture barrier. What our words mean versus what your words mean, or you understand them mean. You know what I mean? So it's really not that big of a deal. When you find, what I have noticed is couples that I meet in Ghana, a lot of the men who are married to Ghanaian women, like I'm married to an African, after getting through the culture and what our words mean, everything else is pretty status quo. It's not really a big issue. You find yourself getting along, learning new things, experiencing new things about each other and each other's culture. It becomes a beautiful thing. I've never seen an unhappy African and African American married. I'm not saying there are not any in the world. I'm saying that I've never seen one or heard of one yet. When a Black American marries an African, it seems like that the relationships always last and they always work. But another reason why I say that is because that I'm not going to go through the whole shebang like I normally do, but I will keep it short in saying that the majority of you, if you don't know, the majority of Black Americans, we have children out of wedlock. Women have children out of wedlock at a percent of 80. So 80% of women who give birth in Black America are not married and almost never will be married. Only 1 in 4 Black American women will ever marry. Out of that 4, more than half of them will divorce. Out of the half who will divorce, 80% of people who file for divorce are the ladies. So we already almost do not marry, and when we do marry, half the time it's divorce. So you have nothing but broken homes. And then you have feminism running in here, running rampant. Then you have a lot of ladies thinking they was taught that in a previous generation that go get your education first and then worry about a husband. The problem with that is when they go get their education and become successful in their so-called eyes at the age of 35 and 40, the type of men that they want don't want them because those successful men only want the younger women. You get me?
Yeah.
So that's why I tell people that if you're going to marry, marry now. Between the ages of 21 and 23, I would say are your best years to offer a man. If you're serious about marriage. When you get older, as you get older, your value as a woman goes down. Do you understand that?
Yeah, I do. But for me, I think it's from 30.
Go ahead.
Like from 21 to 29, it's okay.
If you want to try 30, go ahead, because by the grace of God, I'll still be around on this planet, and you could come to me and tell me just how that worked out for you. If you really want to go that route, make sure you find a way to hit me up. My name is Stephen D. Lyles. Hit me up in 9 years and let me know how that worked out for you, waiting until you was 30. It's not going to be a good outcome, baby. It's not going to be a good outcome. Work on it now. Do you think you're a traditional wife, or are you a modern woman?
Talking about traditional wife, please can you explain it?
If I gotta explain it, that means you're not one.
Traditional wife. Hmm? What I know about traditional wives, right? They are mostly housewives, right? They just stay at home, bear children, and take care of the family. That's just it.
But
So
it's
a modern
also
woman is a blend of the two.
it's not. That's the act of it. That's the act. I'm talking about the character. You could be a traditional wife without being a stay-at-home mom. Most men who have the ability prefer their women to stay home and take care of the house and take care of them, but that doesn't necessarily make you a traditional woman. Traditional woman carries a few connotations, few annotations. What am I thinking about? Character, femininity, feminine, not boyish or mannish or masculine. The ability to follow instruction, be one who follows a man, knows that he's the authority figure in the household, and she holds her position as a wife, as a woman who has the authority over the kids. You said you're a believer. You're supposed to know this. There's levels to everything. There's man, woman, and children. That's how the authority goes. So if you're a believer, you should know this. You should understand this. So, but you don't want to be married till you're 30, right?
You said?
You don't want to be married till you're 30, right?
I did not say so.
You're just saying. You said it's okay, though.
I did not say so.
I'm just saying, 9 more years of waiting for marriage. It's just 9 years worth of different dick that's been in you for a whole another 9 years. You understand?
No, I'm not going to stay till 30.
All right, well, don't. All right. Now, this is a game we play at the end of this interview right here. I call it the 4-3. The 4-3, I get it from football. In football, American football, when you play defense, you play a 3-4-4-3. So I call this the 4-3. There's 4 types of men in this world. Well, 4 types of men in every society. No matter the color, no matter race, religion, whatever. 4 types of men. But we're going to stay with the black race. Of our 4 types of men, we have the lower class men. The lower class men are the ones who don't build anything, don't do anything. They're street guys, whatever. They will never become anything in life. Wasted opportunity, wasted of existence, whatever you want to call it. So that's guy number 1. We don't worry about that. They're not going to tune into this platform anyway. And the 3 that we do direct these messages to are the middle class, upper class, and elite. The middle class is those who go out, earn average income around $45,000 a year, are able to be able to provide for a wife and a couple kids and live pretty decently, depending on what the woman does. Do you want to work part-time or full-time, or you want to be a stay-at-home mom?
I want to work full-time.
Huh?
I want to work.
You want to work. So that's 2 incomes. Yeah, with 2 incomes, y'all gonna pull around 100, 150,000 a year. Live a pretty decent life. More than likely, your kids be in daycare, and you see them when you come home and so forth. That seems the type of life that you want. Nothing wrong with that. The 3rd is upper class to elite. We're going to lead them 2 out of that because we're going to talk about what's best for you. Middle class. If you were to marry a black American and it was a middle class individual, and he was let's say around the ages of 38, 40, around the age of 40 years old, came to you for marriage, and he wanted to marry you. Y'all 2 work together to build your house in the suburbs, raise 2 kids, do the so-called American dream, whatever they call it. Would you be suited? Do you think you would be open to that?
Open to?
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't get you.
The outcome that I just stated.
Can you come again?
Say that again?
Can you please come again?
All right. I said, if your only option that you had to become a success. I don't know how you say it, because I don't want to say it in the wrong way, because I already see how you word things, and I don't want you to try to twist this shit around. So, all right, let's be blunt. All right, in all likelihood, the men here who are looking for women are around the ages of 35 and up. Most men under 35 don't look for wives. We don't think about marriage until we're 35. All right, let her network come back. Let's hope she ain't got her credit, or she will see. All right, we're just about to get to it. All right, let's drop her out of here. Oh, there you go. I was about to drop you out, see if you was coming back. Let me get this before they cut my little thing anyway. All right. I said, if there was a man from here, he was about the age of 40 years old, and he said that he wanted to marry you and raise children with you, and y'all have a home together and build a family together. For that middle class individual, would you be open to that?
Middle class individual.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I told you. You will know what middle class means. Middle class meaning house, car in the suburbs, and live in a nice community. That's middle class here in America. Did you hear me? Yeah, so that's middle class. I was even going to skip this, but I do because I do it for everybody else. On a scale of 1 to 10, what do you give yourself as far as looks? This is your face.
The 7, 8.
8 is very difficult to attain. Do you know what an 8 is?
Let me just think 7.
7 is Rihanna. So you just you're looking at Rihanna, you think? I'm asking.
You said?
Do you think you're equal to Rihanna?
Rihanna.
Rihanna, the singer, Rihanna.
In what? Yeah. In what aspect?
This face. Do you think you're more beautiful than Rihanna?
Rihanna. I think so.
At least you're confident. I'll give you that. I'll give you that. I'll give you a 6. I'm being nice today. So I'll give you a 6. 5 is average. Most people in the world look average. That's 86%. They say 86% of the world are average-looking people. That's nearly damn near the whole population. 6 means you're better looking than the average person, which is, something to be proud of. You understand? You get me? But one thing I know about y'all ladies, y'all always overestimate yourselves. If somebody was 6, sometimes they can say that I'm a 10. No, y'all always do that. Y'all even think other women are more beautiful than what we think they are. All the time. But anyway,
it depends on what you see.
No,
it's
right.
Up to you, right?
You're right, but there's how should I say this? There's a general type that we look at in the world as far as beauty. There's certain features. Okay. Yeah, it's just how it is. There are certain features that we look at. Huh?
I'm interested in knowing the features.
They vary. Various features. But I'm just saying that, somebody got one eye and a nose on a cheek. You're not going to say that person is just as beautiful as anybody, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's just, I understand where you're going with it, but understand that, yes, to each his own. I might be attracted to something that somebody else is not. But there's still